Welcome back to episode 93 of Winning the Division. I am your co host, Ryan Smitty Smith, alongside former NFL tight end Ben Troupe. Ben
Yeah,
played for the Bucks, for the Titans, and the Raiders, and also his college ball at the University of Florida. Ben,
say it so they know. Say it so
yes,
they know.
the
Ain't no doubt.
University of Florida in Gainesville.
Hold on. Your dad graduated from Florida, didn't he?
That's correct. He did.
I'm
Yep.
just saying,
And
and I'm gonna start saying it from now on. Every time I'm saying, wait a minute, Smitty. Your dad graduated. You're like, yeah, he did. Okay, so this is a family affair. You know what I'm
yes.
saying? Smitty grew up to go to Florida. He just moved and then he ended up going to UNC Charlotte. Nothing wrong with that. He's a 49er and a Gator. You see what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
can live with it. I can live with both.
Not a San Francisco 49er, Charlotte 49er.
Hold on, yeah. Because we got people that watch the show. We don't want no 49ers. He has family members that are also 49ers
Yes.
fans. Let them know
Yes, that's
I am a 49er. It's just the ones we talking about Charlotte, not San Francisco. Because he is that Carolina blue. And I'm talking about not UNC, but the Carolinas blue. That you gotta go to Charleston, South Carolina, and let you know where that Carolina blue come from. But yes, he is a 49er as well. He is a Panther, 100%, and he is also a Gator through that's hereditary stuff. But let's get to it, man. I mean, what the greatest? I kept telling people this. Everybody want to talk about the draft. We get that part, but we are here. We made it. It is NFL free agency, and they call it a frenzy for a reason. Buckle up, people, because people have opened up them checkbooks, and they ain't closing them anytime soon.
Yep. Let's get into it though. Free agency frenzy. We're just gonna get right to it. Everyone and their mother can talk about all the big names, and I'm just gonna start. We're just gonna go team by team. We're gonna go through it all, and we're gonna go through who did well, what moves we liked, what we didn't like. So I'll go in alphabetical order. Let's just start with the Arizona Cardinals. We're going alphabetically here. So Arizona Cardinals. I'm not going to name all free agents of all the
Yeah,
teams. They're just the ones that stuck out to me. Quarterback Gardner Minshew, 1 year, $5 million. Kendrick Bourne, 2 years, $10 million, 7.5 guaranteed. Tyler Algier, you should know a thing or two about him. A Falcon, 2 years, $12.25 million. And a guard, Isaac Samalo. There's some other ones on there as well, but those are the main ones.
I mean,
What it sounds like Arizona is going to be naming Jacoby Brissett their 2026 starter here soon.
as they should. I like Gardner Minshew. You always want to have a quality backup, a journeyman, a guy that started off in Jacksonville and has played a lot of football. Tyler Aguilar, obviously, that's a guy. You know, I was like, I didn't want to see him go, but you always want to be able. Kendrick Bourne is a very, very underrated pickup coming over from the 49ers. I think he's going to be really, really nice. And I think the thing about the Cardinals are not the Cardinals will never ever be a premier destination for any player at this point. But this is going to be the Kyler Murray-less Cardinals, which is going to be something to get used to. But I do like Bourne. I do like Aguilar. And I think Gardner Minshew was a nice pickup as a backup.
We're not going to get into this team specifically regarding these positions, but there were a number of punter and kicker news on a lot of these teams today.
And it better be, Smitty. For those of you who ain't got a kicker or a punter, I give you the playoffs. You need a kicker, a punter. And to them long snappers that's going into year 17, 18, it is the greatest skill that only so few people have. Congratulations to the long snappers that's continuing their career.
Yep. Cardinals are one of many teams that signed or retained their kicker and punter. The Atlanta Falcons, Jahan Dotson, 2 years, $15 million. Punter, Jake Bailey, 3 years, $9 million. Austin Hooper, 1 year, $3.25 million. Zacchaeus comes back. Olamide Zacchaeus, wide receiver. Retained Kyle Pitts, franchise tag. We talked about that earlier last week, $15 million. But the one, Tua Tagovailoa, 1 year, $1.3 million after his cut from the Miami Dolphins. Ben, don't worry, Ben, he is making a boatload of money not to play for the Miami Dolphins right now. So Tua is
yeah. For those people that he's only making one, no, that's what the Atlanta Falcons are willing to say. He's under contract with them. He's the Dolphins are paying him a boatload that's already guaranteed. They got to give him You mentioned Dotson. I like that. Zacchaeus, I like that. Austin Hooper, a guy that's been with the Falcons, coming back over to be more, coming back to be that second tight end behind Kyle Pitts. You mentioned Kyle Pitts. Signing a franchise tag. I like the fact that we got Tua. We was talking about this before, Smitty, a lot before free agency started. I thought that we had a really, really good shot to get Tua. Tua is a guy that I think needs a change of scenery. No one really knows what Michael Penix is going to be when he comes back, when he's going to come back. And you want to have a guy, to me, this is what Terry Fontenot, the former general manager, wanted to get out of a guy like Kirk Cousins. The difference is Tua is still very much in his prime, still has, I think, some good years left in him. And a one-year deal is a proven deal. So it's very, very cap friendly. He gets a new opportunity. He gets to be in the Dome. He gets to be in the NFC South. I still think, regardless of Baker Mayfield or Tyler Shuck, I still think, Bryce Young is the best quarterback in that division, bar none. But I think adding a guy like Tua, another former Alabama. I mean, not another, but you're adding a former Alabama quarterback to be in that division. I think it's going to be great. So hopefully he can stay healthy. But I did like to pick him. I like the fact they was already ready to get him. 1.3, 1.4 million for Tua Tagovailoa. Okay, man, I'll take that deal any day of the week, because if he doesn't pan out, you don't have to pay him a boatload of money for him to come to a Flowery Branch. So nice pickup, nice overhaul.
The team that probably has the least amount of transactions, but that's because one was a very huge transaction. That would be the Baltimore Ravens. Ooh. Max Crosby to their team via trade, 2 first-round picks given to the Las Vegas Raiders. They're 2026 this year, 2027 next year. And retained quarterback Tyler Huntley, 2 years, $11 million, and guard John Simpson on a 3-year, $30 million.
They putting a lot of pressure on Lamar Jackson. You go out there and get him a defender like Max Crosby, go along with a defense that's already rock solid. You're going to have Derrick Henry back, who signed his contract extension back in last year in 2025. A healthy Lamar Jackson, a defense that's added a pass rusher that's going to wreak havoc, and a guy that's going to be playing motivated football because you're coming over from the Raiders. He gets to breathe. He's rejuvenated. I think it's probably the biggest free agent pickup this offseason because of who it is and the impact that he has. It's hard to be bigger impacts than quarterbacks. Let's go ahead and face it. But Max Crosby is a guy that's well respected throughout the National Football League, and the guy that's never ever told to take plays off, known for his motor, known for his leadership, known for his production. Now he gets to go over there to be more. I don't know who's going to be the quarterback of Pittsburgh, but it's going to be rough. We already know that Joe Burrow is in Cincinnati, and whether it's Shador, Deshaun Watson, they're gonna have to deal with Max Crosby. I think it's it sent shockwaves when it happened. So congratulations to the Baltimore Ravens, and if you are the Raiders, you're gonna find a way to be able to utilize those picks that you got for that guy, hopefully, in this draft.
We'll get to the Las Vegas Raiders about halfway down. They were not quiet today, we'll say that. The Buffalo Bills traded for DJ Moore and gave up a second-round pick to acquire DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears in return. Signing quarterback D. Alford, 3 years, $21 million, former Falcon, if I'm not mistaken, Ben. Retained their center Connor McGovern, 4 years, $52 million, $32 guaranteed. And then backup quarterback Kyle Allen, former Panther, and among other stops. Big friend of Josh Allen's re-signs for a 2-year deal worth $4.1 million.
If you don't think going into this offseason, they knew that Josh Allen needed a number 1 receiver. Nothing against you, Keon Coleman. They needed a rock-solid receiver. That's what you get in DJ Moore. DJ Moore, right now in his career, has had to deal with 2 number 1 overall picks. He went from Cam Newton, right? And he had to go over there. Chicago, right? And you look at right now, he's getting the MVP. He's getting Josh Allen. And if you are DJ Moore, number 1, you did right by the Carolina Panthers. That's why they traded you to Chicago. You had to be a great teammate because they sent you to Buffalo. So hopefully it'll work out. But the same way I said no excuses for Lamar Jackson, they are giving right now a free agent. And then I don't know if they're done yet, but they're definitely giving him a bona fide number 1 to DJ Moore with Josh Allen. We'll see if it works out.
Let's go to my Carolina Panthers. The big edge, Jalen Phillips, 4 years, $120 million, $80 million guaranteed, Ben. Quarterback Kenny Pickett, Super Bowl champion, Kenny Pickett. I know. I'm sorry. I kid. I mean, I'm not kidding. He really is. But okay. Kenny Pickett, 1 year up to 7.5 million, 40 million guaranteed. And then 2 depth cornerback positions, Robert Rochelle and Caleb Evans, both resigned to 1-year deals.
The Jalen Phillips one, I mean, the amount of money that he got, he's going to cost a lot of money. I didn't know it was going to be that type of money, but we'll see. I mean, when he's healthy, I think he's a double-digit sack guy easy because he's been, 7.5 sacks, 8.5 sacks, had to deal with the Achilles. I think he showed a lot when he went over to Philly because he was definitely impactful. I think he's the guy. I think he could be. You talk about him. You talk about Princely. You talk about Derek Brown. You hope he's a missing piece. You hope because Derek Brown he's the alpha male. He's the guy on that D line, but he's an interior D line. But you need a guy on the outside. Brian Burns. I know he's somewhat looking going, really? Y'all gonna get at him? Yeah, because he wanted to be there. And I get it. I ain't never mad at nobody for getting their money. But when you get your money, as soon as you leave, Brian, they win the divisions. And now they added Jalen Phillips. That's a nice pickup. I mean, that much money means that he was high, really, really high on a lot of teams' free agents. So he was rated top free agent, but Dan Morgan, give him a lot of credit. It's all about who you get and when you get him. And everybody said he could have waited. If he would have waited, somebody else would have got him. You cannot wait. I mean, you see, as soon as the clock struck 1 o'clock or whatever, man, these people are flying off these boys, and which means they was probably negotiating before 1 o'clock, and they made.
Of course, yeah. This is the legal tampering today. Legal being the key word there, Ben.
Well, you know what it is. If one team telling another team, they're gonna be like, "Oh, so you think we was the only team doing it?" Because ours came in at 1-on-1, yours came in at 1-on-2. I'm just saying, but I like the direction they're going with free agency with your Panthers. We're gonna see if they swing that to offense when it comes to the draft or what other pieces they go out there and get. But that's a nice pickup. Jalen Phillips is a really, really good player.
Yep. Devin Lloyd, linebacker from Jacksonville, is out there still. We'll get to we'll see what happens there. Carolina, New Orleans, and Cincinnati are the 3 finalists for him. So we'll see who picks up Devin Lloyd, but Panthers are certainly in the running there. Chicago, safety Kobe Bryant from the Seattle Seahawks, 3 years, $40 million. Linebacker Devin Bush from the Browns, 3 years, $30 million. Neville Gallimore from the Cowboys, 2 years, $12 million. They traded for Patriot center Garrett Bradbury, formerly of the Vikings and the Patriots. And then they retained Case Keenum and linebacker DeMarco Jackson, both on 2-year deals.
Like the DeMarco Jackson re-sign, like the Case Keenum re-sign. I really, 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 really like Devin Bush and Kobe Bryant. What's happening with the Chicago team, they're trying to make sure, Ben Johnson is making sure that people understand this is not the same old Bears. We are not bad teams rebuild, good teams reload. And the Chicago Bears are reloading. And when you look at what they're doing, they was able to you see what they was able to do in 2025 with that offensive line, and it showed. They're trying to take a young nucleus of players and they want to add it with some veteran presence. I mean, hopefully Kobe Bryant, you remember, re-signed DeMarco Jackson, Devin Bush, Braxton Jones, Case Keenum. That's a really, really good overhaul. You want to be able to add guys to the culture that was already been there. That's why you re-sign the guys. You want to bring some new guys in that has a winning pedigree and a level of professionalism, leadership they can bring to their locker room. I mean, I really like the pickups from Chicago because it's hard because that's how you get over the DJ Moore situation. But hey, man, we'll see what happens.
Let's go to Cincinnati, another team, as I said, who's in there for the Devin Lloyd services. Safety Brian Cook from the Chiefs, 3 years, $42.5 million, and then edge Boye Mafe from the Seahawks, 3 years, $60 million.
It's the thing about it. Yeah, here's the thing about Cincinnati. You can't keep the good players in the building. All your money seems to be being thrown at the offensive side of the football. And people forget the T. Higgins and the Jamar Chase and the Joe Burrow. That's a lot of money going to 3 guys. It kind of hamstrings you a little bit. Trey Hendrickson, which is the biggest anomaly I've ever seen, still is out there as a free agent. So maybe the money that he's asking for compared to the production, I don't know. But Cincinnati, maybe they're going to try to make a bigger splash as his first wave of free agents go by and maybe like more favorable money type guys are out there. But this seems like what we've always seen, Smitty. We're gonna see some really, really good numbers on the offensive side of the ball, and they're gonna lose 42-41, 37-35, because they can't keep guys out of the end zone. This time last year, they didn't want to sign Trey Hendrickson. They got rid of their linebacker who led them in tackles. I don't know what's going on in Cincinnati, but it's a lot of weird stuff going on. Like, you finally get these, once in a lifetime type players when you talk about Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and they're gonna squander their talent. They're gonna make a lot of money. They're gonna put up money. They're gonna definitely be in the stats sheet. They're gonna light the box score up. Problem is they're gonna still be catching the L's. So right now they competing against the Buffalo. They competing against the Browns to be a bottom feeder.
And speaking of those Cleveland Browns, they signed former Chargers guard Zion Johnson, 3 years, $49.5 million, and retaining Ronnie Hickman, safety, with a second-round pick.
Yeah, once again, Myles Garrett, that's a lot of money, and I think with the Browns, they're saying if it's not going to get us better, we're going to try to make it look like we're competing, but you just feel real, real bad for Shedeur, because I think that him and Deshaun Watson going to be competing this year for the starting role. Dylan Gabriel might be the odd man out. He might be a trading piece, maybe at the trade deadline.
He's on his way out. Yeah,
but he'll be a trading. They might make a move with him with the draft coming up. Who knows? But it's just. The only difference in the Browns and the Bengals, different locations in the same state. It's a bunch of craziness going on.
Let's head over to the Big D in Dallas. Safety Jalen Thompson comes over, 3 years, $33 million, traded for Rashawn Gary for late-round pick swaps with the Green Bay Packers. And then, of course, retaining George Pickens on a franchise tag, $27.2 million guarantee. Corner Josh Butler and kicker Brandon Aubrey got a second-round tender as well, Ben, $5.7 million guaranteed at signing there. Before you say anything, I have a question on this one. As you go through everybody here, Rashawn Gary, wasn't he like really good for the Packers not too long ago? Why was it a late round pick swap? That doesn't make sense to me.
Because just because you're really, really good for the team you own doesn't mean you're going to warrant. I think sometimes, we get caught up in the Max Crosby's and the Michael Parsons. Those are rare guys.
Right.
So rare guys rare guys can get you rare people. Rare things bring rare things. Rashawn Gary is a really, really good player. He is not in the same stratosphere as Michael Parsons and freaking Max Crosby. So, but I think it's a consolation prize. Something we talked about, Smitty. I heard reports that Jerry Jones was one of the teams that was trying to trade, for Max Crosby, and
yes,
it didn't happen. And you get Rashawn Gary. Now, Rashawn Gary to go along with Quentin Williams, that could be very, very formidable. That could be a really, really nice 1-2 punch.
And Kenny Clark as well.
And Kenny Clark. So you got Kenny Clark, you got Quentin Williams, you got Rashawn Gary. Here's the thing that Rashawn Gary going to have to get with. Either I want to be the show, or I'm going to be a part of the circus, because Dallas is a freaking circus. And I'm not going to get into Dak Prescott and his personal stuff, but it's hard to keep that stuff out in the media. But I do think Rashawn Gary is a really, really good pickup, though. I really, really do. And we'll see, because you better have some pass rushers in that vaunted NFC East, because the Eagles ain't going nowhere. Dallas seems to be a good team. The Commanders kind of fell off, and the Giants is trying to make some moves.
Yeah. Let's go to Denver, where tight end Adam Troutman retains 3 years, $17 million. Alex Singleton, 2 years, $15.5 million, $11 million guaranteed, the linebacker. J.K. Dobbins, running back, retained for 2 years, no financials yet. And then quarterback Sam Ehlinger, 1 year, $2 million as well. And no signings outside of the building. These are all retentions for the Denver Broncos. So
I like it. The greatest thing, the best thing about a good team is, draft, develop and retain.
And they cut Dre Greenlaw as well. I forgot to say that. Linebacker Jay Greenlaw got cut today by the Denver Broncos.
the thing about the Dre Greenlaw situation is very, 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 very unfortunate because we remember Dre Greenlaw going to the Super Bowl running on tearing his Achilles. He's never been the same player, and Denver gave him an opportunity to prove them wrong, and sometimes your body just don't respond. I mean, we hope that he gets healthy and can pass the physical because he could definitely help another team, but I think the health issue is what's scaring him right now, but that's why they re-signing linebackers. And like I say, Bo Nix getting hurt probably cost them a Super Bowl because if he doesn't get hurt, they probably go to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they beat Seattle. I'm saying it's really, really good game. I'm not saying that means they beat them, but I do think they beat the Patriots easily and go to the Super Bowl and anything can happen. But I like the fact that they'll actually re-sign the guys. That says a lot. That says a lot to the other veterans in the building when you bring the guys back, because sometimes guys do so much for you and you just let them walk. But I'm happy for Dobbins and Ellinger and those guys, but the Pat Surtains and guys of the world, they get to say, all right, man, we get to get the band back together. Let's see if we can get that old thing back in 2026 where we got started in 2025.
Detroit Lions just two offensive line signings: Larry Borum, offensive tackle, and then my Panthers let their center Cade Mays walk to the Detroit Lions. 3 years, $25 million, $14 million guaranteed.
It shows that they don't have a lot of holes. This Detroit Lions team, yes, they got rid of Montgomery. I mean, he went over to the Texans, but they don't got a lot of holes. You look at what they got at, Jared Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs going to be more of a feature bag. Amon St. Brown, and James
Grant Glasgow retired.
Now him retiring does her. Here the thing about Detroit. Is Detroit the culture? Is Detroit building a solid culture in the NFC North, or did they just have some really, really good outlier years and they're going to get back to what? Because they literally fell off in 2025. At one point, they was looking like the best team in the league, not just the NFC, not just the NFC North. And when they fell off, they fell off. Can Dan Campbell and company get them back to what we've grown to know them to be the last couple of years, or are they going to put up a bunch of points and lose a bunch of games? And Aiden Hutchinson going to make a bunch of money, and Amon St. Brown going to go viral with his touchdown celebrations, and they're going to lose. I like the fact that they're making Jared Goff's health a priority, but we'll see how much they go into their bag for the rest of free agency and what holes they're going to have to fill in the draft.
The Green Bay Packers traded for linebacker Zaire Franklin after losing Quay Walker to his new team, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. Sean Ryan retained 3 years, $33 million, and Darian Kennard 1 year offensive tackle as well.
People aren't making a big enough deal about Zaire Franklin. Zaire Franklin is a tackling machine. He is everything that moves wheels with them Colts. That is a great pickup because, you lose Quay Walker, you lose Rashawn Gary, you're going to hopefully get a healthy Michael Parsons. That's a nice pickup. Zaire Franklin can play in any defense because of the type of linebacker he is. He doesn't come off the field. That was nice. The problem is they're getting rid of everybody. They got Michael Parsons. They go Quay Walker. He's gone. We'll see. I definitely think he's going to fit in nicely because you're talking about a guy that's, I think he played in Syracuse. He's from Philadelphia. So the snow ain't going to bother him. He's a gritty, grimy dude. He's just got a chance to play in a dome the last, 5 or 6 years. But I think that's a really, really nice pickup.
The Houston Texans signed Eagles safety Reed Blankenship, 3 years, $24.75 million. They retained edge rusher Danielle Hunter, 1 year, $40 million extension. Tight end Dalton Schultz, 1 year, $12 million extension. Trent Brown, 1 year, up to $7 million. Defensive tackle Naquan Jones, and defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins.
That Blankenship signing, that's huge. He was the guy on the back end for the Eagles. He was the guy that made everything go. You mentioned Danielle Hunter, 1 year, $40.1 million. They are geared up to give, obviously a Will Anderson Jr. He gonna reset the market. When he does sign, I like the fact Naquan Jones, Sheldon Rankins, re-signed the two guys that's already been there, Dalton Schultz. They're trying to put this team in a position to where, because Smitty, they ain't saying it out loud, but CJ Stroud doesn't give them a lot of confidence in him. They're confident in him, but they're not going to put the game on the line, with him. They said, look, we're not going to put him in the position to have to win it. Let's re-sign a lot of these guys on defense. Let's bring back Dalton Schultz, who was definitely, a security blanket, for CJ Stroud in that offense. But Danielle Hunter and company and Blankenship. Blankenship, and you got Petrie, who was like a hybrid type linebacker safety. Yeah, they going for it. With when you talk about that secondary. Yeah,
Stingley and company.
Yeah. The Houston Texans are telling the Jacksonville Jaguars, "Hey, y'all won the division, but we coming for y'all. Ain't nobody scared of Daniel Jones, who think he worth $50 million a year. We'll see if the Colts give it to him. And I know we're gonna get to Tennessee, but they trying to say we are the class of the AFC South, and our free agency moves is proving that."
Well, the other two of the other three in the AFC South are my next two. Edge Arden Key goes to the Colts, 2 years, $20 million, $11 million guaranteed. But it's really the retentions here. Their kicker, Blake Grupe, formerly of the Saints, retained. Quarterback Daniel Jones, we discussed last week, transition tag, 1 year, $37.8 million. And then wide receiver Alex Pierce did not hit the market, 4 years, $116 million. Wide receiver Michael Pittman, they shipped him out to Pittsburgh, which we'll talk about a little bit.
Yeah, I knew that Alex Pierce was going to get paid. I knew he was going to get paid like that. Congratulations to him. You mentioned Artie Key comes over, from my Titans. To sign a 2 year, $20 million, $11 million guaranteed. As we mentioned, no Zaire Franklin, he's moved on. To the Green Bay Packers. Daniel Jones, they essentially offered him the same contract that the Seattle Seahawks offered Sam Darnold, 3 years, like $110 million, and he said no. And in their mind, they was like, okay, well, we probably was only really signing you to a 1 year deal anyway. It looked like a 3, it was really a 1, but we're just going to give you transition tag to make sure you get almost $38 million. Daniel Jones, forget that we saw him all last year. We saw you the whole year. We saw you the first half of the year, and we unfortunately saw you the second half of the year. And you played your best football the first half of the year when you was setting records and scoring points that we ain't never seen. Jonathan Taylor went from a 2,000-yard rusher to falling off. But because Michael Pittman, he moves over to Pittsburgh. They've already re-signed him to a deal. I like their nucleus of what they're trying to get done. But you know who's nobody's talking about? Sauce Gardner. Them 2 first-round picks or whatever they gave up for him. Ugh. That return on investment ain't looking good, but I do like what the Colts are trying to do, bringing over guys from a divisional rival, signing new guys and bringing back your quarterback. So we'll see who's going to be the backup, because right now Anthony Richardson is moving on to greener pastures. We'll see when that breaking news happens.
Let's go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nobody brought in so far on the outside, just 3 retentions. That does not include linebacker Devin Lloyd. He will be moving on in free agency to a destination unknown. Corner Matrique Brown, 3 years, $33 million. Linebacker Dennis Gardeck and tight end Quentin Morris. 3 retentions for the Jaguars.
DJ Dallas is a guy that when I used to live in Brunswick, Georgia. DJ Dallas is he's from Brunswick. He's from
former Panther as well. He got shipped over.
From Brunswick, played for Miami. Obviously, got drafted by Seattle. Also played for your Carolina Panthers. Now it's really, he's about as close to home as you can get. Brunswick, Georgia, to Jacksonville, Florida is about 45 minutes to an hour. So he's literally right down the road. This Jacksonville Jaguars team, I want to see Trayvon Walker, what they're gonna do with him. No Travis Etienne. He's moved on.
He's moved on to the Saints. Yeah.
No De'Ami Brown. Signed a 1 year deal coming from the Commanders. Didn't really work out. Got Parker Washington. Are they going to ship off Brian Thomas Jr.? They got a lot of stuff going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hopefully they can keep it all together. Liam Cohen did an incredible job in his first year under the helm. We'll see, but very, very underwhelming as a free agent class. But when you give so much money to the quarterback, you give some money to Josh Hines, Allen. That would be the defensive end. You only got so many millions to go around. But lackluster. But we'll see if these guys can pan out for them Duval Jaguars.
The Kansas City Chiefs running back Kenneth Walker, 3 years, $45 million, $28.7 million guaranteed, the Super Bowl MVP from this past Super Bowl, leaving Seattle to go to Kansas City. Everyone's favorite tight end Travis Kelce back on a 1 year, $12 million deal up to $15 million. And fullback Chris Tonga brought over 3 years, $21 million, $14 million guaranteed for defensive tackle / fullback Chris Tunga.
Isaiah Pacheco, we're gonna see what they're gonna do with him, bringing over Kenneth Walker, a former MVP. That's gonna help Travis Kelce. Look, Travis Kelce's gonna be on a 1-year deal until he decides to retire. They ain't gonna give him multi-year deals. They're gonna give him a 1-year deal. I'm gonna be excited to see what receivers they put together around Xavier Worthy and those guys, because the health, I know that Patrick Mahomes has already told Kansas City faithful he's going to be there week 1. Well, we'll see, because bodies don't heal quicker as you get older. Heal just a smidge slower. But I think when you get a running back like Kenneth Walker, they're gonna high emphasis on the running game. The biggest pickup for them is not Kenneth Walker, it's not Travis Kelce coming. It's Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy is back in the house to call the plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, because Patrick Mahomes says, go find Eric and tell him I sent for him and I need him. So, but I like Kenneth Walker. People saying, where's he going to go? There's a lot of worse places to go than the former Super Bowl champions in Kansas City Chiefs. And they're back. They don't like how people wrote them off in 2025. I don't know what that's going to mean in 2026, but I do know that's not going to be good for the people that got them on the schedule.
No, it will not. The Las Vegas Raiders, they were busy today. All right, Taron Johnson, traded over from the Bills, corner. Signed center Tyler Limbaugh, 3 years, $81 million, but the 60 guaranteed is what's really talking about. Setting the record at center. Quiddy Payne of the Colts, 3 years, $48 million, $32 million guaranteed. Linebacker double dipping, Quay Walker of the Packers, $40.5 million on a 3-year contract, 28 guaranteed. Nakobe Dean from the Eagles, $36 million, $20 million guaranteed. Jalen Naylor from the Vikings, 3 years, $35 million. Corner Eric Stokes, 3 years, $30 million, retaining Malcolm Kuntz, edge, 1 year, $11 million of the notable guys on there for retention. So Raiders were busy.
I like it. Quiddy Payne, Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker, and Johnson and Stokes. They're trying to revamp this defense. They're trying to get this defense back to a play. Max Crosby gone. Christian Wilkins, hasn't been seen or heard from since he got kicked off the team, and he came over as a big free agent a couple of years ago from the Miami Dolphins. Quay Walker, ball hawking linebacker that doesn't come off the field. Nakobe Dean hit everything that move. I like these moves by the Raiders. I really, really do. They're trying to say, look, while the offense figures out its identity, we got to have a defense that can keep us in the game. I like what they've done. The silver and black, they went out there and they got better. They got better thus far this offseason. We'll see if those guys pan out though. Quiddy Pay, though, I think that was a great pickup. Nobody's gonna they're trying to replace the production of a Max Crosby in numbers, and I mean by players. So hopefully they can do it by committee.
And number 1 pick, Fernando Mendoza, which we all know is obviously going to happen, does have some protection with Tyler Linderbaum. So that's important from the center. Los Angeles Chargers. Tyler Biadasz comes over with the Commanders, 3 years, $30 million. Fullback Alec Ingold from the Dolphins, 2 years, $7.5 million. I'm just going to say that is such a Jim Harbaugh signing right there. Charlie Kohler from the Ravens, 3 years, $24.3 million, $17 million guaranteed. And then they retain T.R. Tart, 3 years, $37.5 million, $20 million guaranteed extension. Khalil Mack, 1 year, $18 million guaranteed. Trevor Penning, 1 year, $4.5 million. And running backs Jared Patterson and Kamani Vidal as well.
I like a lot of these are definitely Harbaugh type signs. I think the biggest pickup for them is Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels, former head coach, the Miami Dolphins comes over to call plays. That offense is going to look totally different. You see what they're going to be able to do with Justin Herbert and company. But Khalil Mack still finding a way to get NFL checks in the National Football League. I like the tight end that they got. I like the fullback that they got. I like any team that got a fullback. We'll see if those guys pan out because, like I say, they are in that NFC. They're in the AFC West. They got the deal with Patrick Mahomes and company. They got the deal with these Denver Broncos, right? And the Raiders are getting better, but we'll see if it's more on paper and does it translate to the field.
You mean the Chargers, but yes, yeah.
I'm saying we talk about the Chargers. I'm saying I'm just going through their division, who they got to play with.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
With Kansas City and with the freaking Raiders. Yes, sir.
The Rams trade for Trent McDuffie, 4 years, $124 million extension signed from the Kansas City Chiefs. We went through that and gave up the first-round pick to the Kansas City Chiefs for this trade. signed Jalen Watson also for the Chiefs. They're buddies. They come over together. 3-year, $51 million, $34 million guarantee. And Cam Curl resigned 3 years, $36 million, and Tyler Higbee tied in 2 years, $8 million.
Listen, McDuffie broke the bank, as you mentioned. He's a guy that's still well into his prime. You talk about, I'm sorry. We talk about the Rams, right? I want to make sure.
The Rams.
Tyler Higbee was the one that made that catch, right? Against y'all, that was him.
No, Colby Parkinson.
Oh, Colby Parkinson. Okay, Tyler Higbee was a look. I think this Rams team is looking like this. You know what they are on offense. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, the running game. The defense has to be an asset and not a liability in crunch time. Because I'm going to keep saying this. Nerves are the only reason your Panthers didn't move on. Just nerves. They were in the game. Bryce is playing well. You know what I'm saying? Hogan, they playing well. I just think that this Rams team is saying, okay, we in that NFC West. San Francisco ain't going nowhere. Seattle is the defending Super Bowl champs. We got the regular season MVP, Sean McVay. I think he's the daddy times 2 now. Can we compete? How do you compete? You got to be able to stop people. Because the last 2 Super Bowls, 2 things were apparent. The D-line of the Philadelphia Eagles could not be blocked by the O-line of Kansas City. The O-line of the Patriots could not block the D-line of Seattle. So all that Q stuff go out the window, Smitty, when you just playing straight up football. Get your defense right, because when the games that matter the most, you're gonna need them to step up big. I like McDuffie. My goodness, that joker. I said, dude, is his last name Sanders? Is his last name Revis? Getting all that money. Just saying. Congrats.
The Dolphins. Big one here is Malik Willis coming over from the Packers. 3 years, $67.5 million, $45 million guaranteed. And obviously Tua going to your Falcons that we already mentioned.
I'm happy for Malik Willis for a lot of reasons. Here's the biggest reason. Malik Willis, former second-round pick out of Liberty, right? Hugh Freeze was his head coach. Good Lord. Tennessee told him, sorry, we want Will Levis, which still just bothers me. It just bothers me. And Malik Willis' first start was with the Green Bay Packers versus the Tennessee Titans. I'll just let y'all guess who won that. Malik Willis. But I'm happy that he gets to go to a place like Miami. Fresh start. Doesn't have a lot of weapons down there. Jalen Waddle. I guess Darren Waller gonna play this year. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't seen his name pop up anywhere. But yeah, I like the fact that Malik Willis get a chance to have a new opportunity to start in the freshman. Only problem is you got to play Buffalo. Yeah, you got to play Drake May and company. But you do get a consolation prize. You do get to play against the Jets. We'll see if you get a win against them.
All right, let's bang up these last 12 teams and get some more. We'll get some closing thoughts in. Minnesota Vikings retain Eric Wilson, linebacker, $22.5 million, 3 years. Jalen Redmond, Ivan Pace Jr., linebacker, and corner James Pierre coming over 2 years, $8.5 million.
I guess Minnesota to me is not. To me, they're not looking real serious right now as a contender in that division, Smitty, because they're not addressing the need. Where your quarterback at? I don't want to hear JJ. Where is he?
We'll see if Kyler Murray comes over there. We'll see.
Until they get a quarterback, I don't care who they get. They're not going to be able to compete.
Yep. The Patriots retained Tommy DeVito, quarterback, 2 years, $7.4 million, $2 million guaranteed, and edge Dramont Jones coming over from the Ravens, 3 years, $39.5 million.
Mike Vrabel is definitely taking he's definitely going back to the old Patriots saying, look, we got a lot of our pieces right now. The problem with the Patriots is that they don't have a number 1 receiver. Stephon Diggs is gone. And Mac Hollins don't wear shoes. I'm not understanding it. And until they get a number 1 receiver, Smitty, I believe in Drake May, but I don't trust Drake May because that's gonna have to be the guy get you there. Mike Vrabel, you being stubborn. You are not Bill Belichick, and I know you thought 1 year we got it. Y'all might fall off a cliff in 2026. I hope I'm wrong.
And then the New Orleans Saints David Edwards, guard from the Bills, coming over 4 years, $61 million. Went from pancaking the Saints this past season to he'll be pancaking other people with him. Running back Travis Etienne, we mentioned him earlier, 4 years, $52 million. Tight end Noah Fant from the Broncos coming over for the Saints as well. And then punter Ryan Wright, punter news from the Minnesota Vikings coming over down to New Orleans.
Special teams, offense. Noah Fant, that's a nice pickup, right? Listen, Travis Etienne, I think he's from New Orleans, so he's literally coming home, right? Yes. I like the fact that, Chris Olave, Tyler Shuck, you talk about Travis Etienne, talk about Noah Fant, they're gonna try to light it up. They're saying, look, Tyrann Mathieu retired before the season last year. I think that Cameron Jordan is out there as a free agent right now. This New Orleans Saints team is going to look different, but they're saying we got a chance to compete because we got our quarterback. We just added a running back. We got a tight end to go along. So you're going to have Travis Etienne and Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave and Noah Fant. That looks good on paper. But a lot of stuff look good on paper. The problem is you got to play on real green grass. But I do like that. I do like what the direction that they're heading.
The New York Football Giants. I'm going to tight in Isaiah Likely from Baltimore, 3 years, $40 million. Tremaine Edwards from the Bears. Edmonds from the Bears, 3 years, $36 million, 23.7 guaranteed. Punter Jordan Stout from the Ravens, where he reunited with Harbaugh, 3 years, $12 million. Retaining Chris Manhertz, tight end 1 year. Gunnar Chesky, wide receiver 1 year, and among others.
I like Isaiah Likely, big fan of his, coming out of Coach Carolina about 4 or 5 years ago. Tremaine Edmonds is still a rock-solid linebacker coming over from the Chicago Bears. A healthy Malik Neighbors, right? You talk about Jackson Dart, right? You talk about, what's that young running back name that got hurt? I can't think his name right now.
Cam
Scatterboo. They look good. I mean, you talk about Brian Burns. I mean, you talk about, Abdul Carter. You talk about Dexter Lawrence. I don't know what's going to go on with Kayvon Thibodeau. Is he going to be a Giant? I don't know. They're looking good because they're trying to bring, get some pieces around Jackson Dart, get some pieces on that defense. They still got to play Philly, right? They still got to play Dallas. And we'll see if the Commanders can have a bounce-back season. But I do like what they're trying to do. I do like their chemical makeup right now.
The Jets. Edge Joseph Asai, 3 years, $36 million, $22.5 million from the Jets, or from the Cincinnati Bengals to the Jets. Linebacker Demario Davis, the old head, from the Saints to the Jets, where he was drafted. So going back to the Jets, 2 years, $22 million, $50 million guaranteed. David Onamata, also from the Saints, 1 year, $10.5 million, and trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick, 3 years, $40 million. And of the retentions here, they franchise tag Breece Hall, as we talked about last week, 1 year, $14.2 million.
So Breece Hall is back, on franchise tag. Jelani Woods re-signed at tight end. You mentioned Demario Davis back with the team that drafted him, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Aaron Glenn is trying his best to build an identity with the Jets. I don't know what that identity is going to be because we still don't know who their quarterback is. Yeah. I'm just saying, Tyrod Taylor, Justin Fields is not going to be a New York Football Jet. What is it going to be? Is it going to be Kyler Murray? Right? Is it going to be? It's the longer these quarterbacks sit out there, a good franchise got a better shot of getting them. And right now, the Jets, y'all are an NFL franchise. A good franchise, well, that's a little bit different.
The Philadelphia Eagles retain Jordan Davis, 3 years, $78 million, $65 million guarantee. There's talk about Jalen Carter being on the trade block. We'll see if that actually happens. And obviously, they thought they were going to sign Jalen Phillips, and the Panthers stole him from under their noses.
Yeah, here's the thing about Howard Roseman. I do still think Howard Roseman is the premier general manager in the National Football League. You re-sign Jordan Davis. No more N'Kobe Dean. No more Blankenship. Right? Those guys have moved on. No more Jalen Phillips, as we mentioned. AJ Brown has done everything this offseason to say he want to be a New England Patriot. I don't think that's going to happen. Right? Dallas Goedert. I think he's a free agent. Here's the thing about this Philadelphia Eagles team. Yes, you got Saquon Barkley. Unless you got AJ Brown. Unless you got Devonta Smith. Right? And I just think that, yes, you got Jalen Hurts. Yes, you got Lane Johnson in that offensive line. That defense is going to have to come together. You talk about Nolan Smith. You talk about Jalen Carter. You talk about Jordan Davis. I mean, if this defense can stay together and they can find a way to, compete, I still think they're the best team in that division. But every team take a step back. And they took a step back in 2025, regardless if They still make the playoffs. Jordan Davis has proven himself to be a guy that you can trust. Jalen Carter has proven himself to be dependable in spurts. I don't know if the Jalen Carter situation is gonna take shape, Smitty, but you know he can bring a couple of first, at least a first and a second. I don't know if he'll get two firsts. You can get a first and a second for a guy that's still on this rookie deal, or I still think, 23, 24 years old, but only signing Jordan Davis, and you got your safety gone. One of your outside linebacker pass rushers gone. This team is looking really, really different. I mean, you still got the two of the three first team all pros, right, in your slot corner, right, and Quinyon Mitchell and company. But we'll see. Maybe that's why I'm a podcast / content creator, and Howie Roseman is making decisions in the Philadelphia Eagles front office.
The Pittsburgh Steelers trade for Michael Pittman Jr., 3 years, $59 million, as we talked about earlier. Signed Jamel Dean, 3 years, $36.5 million from the Bucks. Rico Dowdle from my Panthers, terms not disclosed. Resigned corner Asante Samuel Jr.
They look good. I like Michael Pittman to be the number 2 receiver to go along. To go along with I'm slipping with all these names. DK Metcalf this year. Asante Samuels, and Joey Porter Jr. I mean, you could do worse. Them your 2 starting corners, you could do a whole lot worse with 2 guys like that, Cole Holcomb and Jamel Dean. Look, here's the thing about this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Who are they quarterback? I mean, I know that everybody say, oh man, Mike McCarthy, he's finna reunite, with Aaron. So Aaron don't scare nobody no more. What do Aaron Rodgers go? So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. But I just think this Pittsburgh team, people expect them to be there because they Pittsburgh. But no, a Mike Tomlin list. Hey man, we'll see. His impact is going to be felt because DK Metcalf can't keep his hands off of fans, which is still so crazy to me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how these new additions. But Michael Pittman should let DK Metcalf know, man. Look, we need consistency. I know you look like an action figure with your shirt off, but we need you to go out there and score a point, man. Help us go, touchdowns, first downs, big plays. So
the San Francisco 49ers get Mike Evans out of the NFC South bin. We are, as Falcon and Panther fans, very happy about this. 3 years, $60.4 million, and then signed Eddie Pinheiro, former Panther, former Bear, former a lot of teams that he's been on. 4 years, $17 million, $10 million guaranteed. Eddie definitely earned that contract based on his play this year.
Listen, super duper happy for Eddie Pinheiro. Eddie, former Florida Gator, a journeyman that found his place out there with them San Francisco 49ers. Mike Evans signs a 3-year deal. He is no longer in the NFC South. Good riddance. God, dog. I love and hate Mike Evans. One, because I played for the Bucks, and he obviously was a Buck legend. But I'm sick of Mike Evans. Every time it's a big play, I'm like, stop him. Like, we can't stop. Put a safety over the top of something, man. What are we? Over 100 touchdowns in the NFC South. That's how much he ripped it up. But, yeah, congratulations to him. Hey, man, stay the bleep away from the NFC South. Sick of you, man. But congratulations to him. We got him and, C-Mac. And you talking about Pearsall. You're talking about Brock Purdy. You're talking about George Kittle. You're talking about Trent Williams. You're talking about that. If that offense looks nice on paper.
Well, we'll see Trent Williams. We'll see if he doesn't get traded away. Contract stocks are stalled right now. We'll see.
Now you talking about a lot of teams saying Trent Williams still out there. You might have to keep some money over here in the stash.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And Jawan Jennings is a name to watch on the free agent market. We'll see where it is.
Is Brandon Ayuk no longer? Is he out of his contract? Can he sign somewhere else? I don't know.
I'm not sure about that one, but I do think he is not. Obviously, he's not returning to San Francisco. Super Bowl champion Seahawks wide receiver Rashid Shaheed, 3 years, $51 million, $34.5 guaranteed, and then tendered running back George Palani after losing Kenneth Walker, and then the big one, corner Josh Jobe, 3 years, $24 million. After losing Reek Woolen and Mafe on that defensive side.
They was able to get the bulk of their team last year, 2025. A lot of those guys coming back, still on the contract. Rashid Shaheed, obviously, a guy that definitely proved his worth, not just in the regular season, but in the playoffs. Look, like I say, good teams rebuild. great teams reload. And right now, the Seattle Seahawks, they reloading. Look out for a Sam Darnold extension any day now because they're definitely going to give him more money than what he signed this time last year in the offseason.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed linebacker Alex Anzalone from the Lions, 2 years, $17 million. That's a dang good signing. Tight end Cade Otton re-upped $30 million, 3 years, $20 million guaranteed. And then Kenneth Gainwell coming over from Pittsburgh, former Eagle as well. His first team, 2 years, $14 million, $10 million guaranteed.
I mean, they got Anzalone for a freaking steal. I think he's worth way more than what he signed for. But, hey, man, he knows what he's worth. I'm not here to tell that man what to do. Cade Otton, Mr. No Gloves himself, re-signed when I thought that he was getting the 3 years, $30 million, $20 million guarantee. You mentioned, Kenneth Gainwell. Here's the thing about the Bucs. No Mike Evans, that's going to be a problem. Because Chris Godwin, good when he's good.
There's rumors he might be on the move, too.
Yeah, well, Chris Godwin is good when he's good, but he's usually really. This Tampa Bay Bucs team, they're going through a rebuild. They don't want to use that word out loud, but they really, really are. They are going through a rebuild. Baker Mayfield, you finna know what it feels like to be on a subpar team that you got to do more than you should. I'm not saying that you ain't gonna go out there and be a gunslinger, but you can't do it all. And I am looking forward to see how you like me now, because when you got the best coach or one of the best coaches, in a division that you guys was usually running. Hey man, three-way tie for the NFC South last year. Who the team that won it? Oh, that would be the Panthers, not y'all. Hey, the Bucs must be thinking of the future. Maybe they're thinking about a quarterback or a player in the 2026 draft or 2027 draft and moving forward. But yeah, this lineup of players, yeah. I mean, Levante David, like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah. Tennessee Titans, wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson from the Giants, 4 years, $70 million. John Franklin Myers from the Broncos, 3 years, $63 million, $42 guaranteed. Corner Alante Taylor from the Saints, 3 years, $60 million, $42 million guaranteed. Tight end Daniel Bellinger from the Giants, 3 years, $24 million. Quarterback Mitchell Trubisky, 2 years, retained their long snapper Morgan Cox. You were just talking about that. He's one of the most longest tenure guys in the NFL, 1 year, and among other signings that I did not mention. Titans also had a day, along with the Raiders, tied for some of the most signings here.
Love the Wan'Dale Robinson sign. I think he's definitely going to be the bona fide number one, the guy that comes over, from the Giants, the guy that definitely has, playmaking ability, the ability to get open and double coverage, and obviously the ability to move the chain. Jermaine Johnson, what came over from a trade. Jermaine Johnson is real similar to Jalen Phillips. When he's healthy, he's very, very good. The problem is he ain't been healthy that much. So we'll see how he pans out. John Franklin Myers coming over from Denver. I think that's a really, really good pickup. I like Alante Taylor. I like Joshua Williams. Here's the thing about the Titans. Once again, until you get a coacher, what Coach Seeley is trying to do is saying, we're trying to build a coach. We're trying to build a bully. You're talking about Jeffrey Simmons, right? Artie Key, we said he already went over to the coach. So you coming in with some fresh faces. You coming in with guys who coming from winning franchises, coming in from guys that are not so winning franchises, but you're trying to build a core nucleus. I like what they did. Started with the Wan'Dale Robinson, Mr. Trubisky. I mean, hey, we already know, Cam Ward is going to be the starter moving forward. It makes the team better when you know who your starter is before the draft gets in, before free agency begins. I like what they've done. Now let's see how they look doing it, because I thought that Chigwozium was going to come over. Was going to get re-signed, but obviously they said no. But I do like their signings right now. We'll see how those guys pan out.
Finally, the Washington Commanders re-signed Laremy Tunsil, 2 years, $60 million extension. Quarterback Marcus Mariota, 1 year, $7 million, up to $11 million guaranteed at signing. Punter Tressway and their kicker, former 49er Jake Moody. Nick Allegretti, up at the lineman, 2 years. Traylon Burks, wide receiver, 1 year. Shy Tuttle, defensive tackle, 1 year, former Panther, Ben. And their big guy coming over is Defe Owa from the Seahawks, 4 years, $100 million, $68 million guaranteed. Amik Robinson from the Lions as well, 2 years, $16 million, $9.3 guaranteed.
I mean, I'm super duper happy for Traylon Burks, a guy that was a former first round pick, out of Arkansas that went to the Titans, never really panned out, had the one-handed catch last year, re-signing on a 1 year deal as a proven deal. Laremy Tunsil has found a way to make a bunch of money in the National Football League. I mean, this guy has found a way to make a bunch of money. And when people talk about a signing is, man, 2 years, $60 million, $52 guaranteed. That's a contract, people. I got 2 years. Yeah, I can get up out of here. Y'all can want me up going. He's out of here. I like the nucleus of guys they got. They went out there and got a Daffy. As you mentioned, 4 years, $100 million deal. Can these guys gel in a division that you're going to have to be? It's going to be all about continuity and productivity and availability, because Jaden Daniels either going to have to get bigger or stronger, or they're going to have to protect him better, because he's not the biggest guy you ever seen. And the NFL is not a matter of if, but when. When they catch you, can you get up and can you be durable? But I do like the additions that they made. I mean, Dan Quinn is out there definitely saying, look, man, we're trying to make a huge quantum leap from 2025 to 2026.
And then before we close the show, Ben, let's talk about some available guys for tomorrow on day 2 and beyond. This, I don't have a list in front of me. This is just names that I know and names that you maybe could throw out as well as we close the show out. Kyler Murray, I mentioned earlier, is not signed anywhere. The favorite is he might go to Minnesota. Trey Hendrickson, defensive end from the Bengals, looking to sign somewhere. Romeo Doubs, Packers receiver, not going to be back in Green Bay, looking to sign somewhere, obviously. You got Devin Lloyd, who I mentioned. Maybe he'll sign at midnight tonight. We'll all be checking our notifications in the morning. You've got Caden Ellis from your Falcons, linebacker as well. Leo Chanel, linebacker from the Kansas City Chiefs. We've got our friend Andy Dalton from the Panthers. Is probably going to be cut here very shortly. I'm probably going to sign somewhere as a backup. Those are just ones off the top of my head. Are there guys that you think that haven't gotten signed today that you like to think looking for homes?
One of the top safeties in the National Football League, Kevin Byard. I mean, he's really on the market right now, coming out of Chicago. Definitely a guy that I definitely think should be high. This is a guy that he could bring a veteran presence. He's not going to be highly sought. Cameron Jordan is a free agent.
Yes. Geno Smith as well. Now that they got him,
he's definitely a guy. That Joey Bosa.
Yes,
he's a free agent.
Espinoza
is and here's the thing. You know, when people say, well, why would you bring those type of veterans? You always want to show people how to prepare, how to practice, how to be a pro, how to go about your business. And guys that have done it for a long time, has made a bunch of money, they understand what their role is if they do indeed want their NFL career to continue. I'm anxious to see, where Kirk Cousins is going to end up. I'm anxious to see what a Joe Flacco is going to end up. I'm anxious to see where Anthony Richardson is going to end up, because I know that the head coach. I know the Coach McCarthy. I mean, what's the head coach name out there in Minnesota? I want to say his name wrong.
Kevin O'Connell.
I know he really, 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 really likes Anthony Richardson. Really, really does. And Tyreek Hill, I know he's still coming off it. Stephon Diggs. Where are these guys gonna end up? You still got some guys that got a lot left in the tank, and you want to see. And once again, sometimes it's the fit of the player. And the cost, because some of these guys think they're worth more money than they actually gonna get. A guy that I was talking about, Devin White. Where is he gonna end up? I don't know if he signed a 1-year deal with the Raiders. Where is he gonna end up? Here's a name that I don't know if he still can help a team, depending on Jamal Adams. He's a free agent. Maybe he's the guy that can help. I will say this, maybe if you're not in the first wave of free agents, you weren't highly sought after. Teams kind of go wait to see. And some guys going to have to wait till training camp. Some guys going to have to wait till after the draft. Some guys' phone, for the first time in their career, it ain't ringing. And that's just the harsh reality of the National Football League. It ain't but almost 1,700 players going to be on NFL rosters after the preseason and the offseason. Well, really the preseason ends. But I do like what is being done thus far. You kind of looking at what your team did, what your teams in your division is doing, what the team that you're going to have to play this year is doing. And some teams, they went after it. And some teams like, look, we're going to try to get some fit guys, and hopefully it pans out. But when you're seeing these 5 and 4, you're seeing a bunch of 2-year, 3-year deals. Yeah, that's something the NFL has done. The only 4-year deals you see is them $100 million. Them $100 million contract, they'll be 4 years, which is really a 3-year deal, because they're not going to give, unless you're a quarterback. So Trip McDuffie, if you think you're going to get all that $124 million, sir, you might want to rethink that. But you get a bunch of money up front. But congratulations to your Panthers thus far, man. Y'all made a big splash. Jalen Phillips was highly sought after. And
yeah, I got my list up. Here's our top remaining free agents. Trey Hendrickson, Devin Lloyd, Tariq Woolen, Rasheed Walker, Chig Agwanko, Romeo Dobbs, Kevin Byard, Nashawn Wright, Chason, Elijah Vera Tucker, Kyler Murray, Taylor Decker, Braden Smith, Calvin Austin, Deebo Samuel, Juwan Jennings, Wyatt Teller, Caden Ellis, Leo Chanel, Juwan Brisker, Dallas Goedert, Rashad White, Jadeveon Clowney.
Wow, I like the Dallas Goedert one. I like the Deebo Samuel, Tariq Woolen is still out there. I mean, it's a big name. Chigwozium, Okungwo. I mean, he's a guy that obviously I saw coming out of Maryland, and you see what he was able to do 4 years. He was good, not great for the Titans, but somebody will find a way to pick him up to be Juwan Jennings. So I think Juwan Jennings' asking price is a little bit too high. I think he wants like $20 million a year. I don't think a team want to go that high for him. So he'll end up getting like a 1 year, maybe 2 year deal, maybe like a proven deal. But you still got some big name guys that you just mentioned. Kevin Byard, I don't know why he's not on the team right now. He is a ball hawking safety that can play sideline to sideline, for sure tackler, and a bona fide winner. I mean, I know he played for Chicago last year. I mean, it's gonna be some teams that's gonna be, and like I say, this is going to be going throughout the night. Some of these players either in these cities talking to these teams, or they've agents are on the phone with these teams. Well, this is why they call it a frenzy. And you just hope you land the players that you want to land. But Jadeveon Clowney is still out there getting NFL checks, huh? And Trey Hendrickson, I don't know, 35 sacks in 2 years, 2-time first-team All-Pro, and no one cares. It's almost like Smitty, nobody cares. Cincinnati definitely know. And I think the asking price that he's going to want, people are going to say, yeah, well, you want us to pay you based off of 2 years ago. We're paying you off who you are right now. And Jalen Phillips got the type of contract that I think Trey Hendrickson would have went crazy for. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, that was fast and furious, but this has been Winning the Division, episode 93, free agency, day one. More to come. The next few days, if anything pops off, we'll certainly come back for another episode this week with more here on Winning the Division. But for Ben Troupe, I'm Ryan Smith. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Keep At It Podcast Network, Fans First Sports Network, Tobacco Road Sports Radio on the YouTube. And remember, you are just in your division, but you are winning your division here on Winning the Division. Ben Troupe, I'm Ryan Smith. We will see you guys next time.